Hello everyone, and today is about my Boss Katana 50, my Mark II combo, and we're going to answer a very important question. Is there such thing as tone cloth? So I went on Amazon the other day and I found this. Keeping with my theme that I usually do recently with my music, I thought it'd be fun if I could change the appearance of my katana with some elephant themed cloth. And then looking at videos on this online, there's a lot of people that say, well, it affects the tone and it changes the sound, so why not discover in today's video, is there such thing as a tone cloth? So watch out, tone wood and tone in the fingers. We're going to look at tone cloth. Anyway, I also just want to change the look of my amp. I mean, it's quite fashionable to take your katana and make it look kind of boutique. So I found this and I thought, yay, it goes with my kind of elephants theme I have for my own music. So this video, we're going to record some sounds, just clean sounds, as it is stock. And then I'm going to show you how to change the cloth, well, to add the cloth. I'm actually not going to change the cloth. I don't want to destroy or take the staples out in case I want to go back again. So I'm just going to put this over the existing cloth. So obviously there are going to be slight sound differences. And then we're going to record me playing the same music, or try to, with the same mic location after the cloth to see if there's a huge difference. Obviously, if you run this DI, there's going to be zero difference, but it'll look cooler. Well, I like this design anyway. So yeah, we're going to grab my number one Strat. We're going to grab some grill cloth with elephants on, and we're going to change the appearance of the katana. So first of all though, let's hear what this sounds like with the standard katana cloth, nothing else added. Here's the setup we're going to use for these tests, before and after adding the tone cloth. To keep things simple, the microphone I'm just going to have at the middle of the amp, okay? The speaker cone isn't exactly in the middle, it's to one side, so, you know, we're not looking for the best tone or anything like that, we're just looking for a consistent sound. So I thought the microphone pointed straight at the middle of the amp, and the distance between the mic and the grill cloth is a piece of paper. That's how close it is. So we should be able to replicate this after I've got the new cloth on. I'm using a Shure SM58 because I don't have a 57, and they're very, very closely related microphones. So this should do for this test. In terms of amp setup, instead of my usual setting, what I've got is the clean channel and everything set to 12 o'clock. Except for the reverb, I've got it 9 o'clock. We're on the 0.5 watt mode because we're in the house, we're in the apartment. Don't want to get the neighbours angry. And the guitar I'm going to play through is just my number one Strat. We're probably going to cycle through the neck pickup first, and then the middle pickup, and then the bridge pickup. I'm going to try and play sort of the same thing so you can hear the differences later. I'm interested to see if there's actually any difference at all, really. I can't imagine there being much, but you know, if you're going to do this, you might as well figure out what you got yourself in for. I mean, to be honest, my usual setting, my treble, is usually at about 9 o'clock anyway, so I've got plenty of treble to play with, because obviously if you were going to add an extra piece of fabric on top of this, it's probably going to cut out a lot of the high end, but we'll see. Anyway, that's what this is for. So let's get playing something then on the clean channel. Right, let's try it without the new cloth on, just the original cloth and in the clean setting. So here's the neck pickup. So that was with the original cloth. Just played some generic guitar there, nothing special. Just trying to play mostly chords and a couple of fiddly bits just so you can hear the differences in, you know, highs and lows. Nothing special. I forgot to mention I'm recording from the SM58 into my DAW, which is Logic Pro 10. I think it's, yeah, Logic Pro 10. Just straight in, no post effects, no nothing, just in, record. So when now I'm going to change to put the new cloth on the front, and then we're going to play it again, and we're going to see if we can hear any differences. Yeah, so here we go. Before we begin, I thought I'd show you what tools I'll be using. So obviously you're going to need your cloth, and you're going to need to attach it. I'm just going to try and use these thumbtacks. So on this amp, it's held on with some screws to a wooden frame. So the cloth itself is stapled on to said frame. I'm hoping I can just thumbtack it on. We'll find out. Anyway, to get off some of the bolts, you're going to need a socket set. I have some various socket sizes here. For the screws, you're going to need a small screwdriver and a big screwdriver, posi head, Phillips head, whatever you want to call them. In case you need to remove any staples, some pliers, an adjustable wrench in case some of the plumbing goes in your house and you have to fix that in between shots, and a kid's hammer, just in case a kid comes in, yeah, you can throw it at them. Right, anyway, let us begin. So this is what the back of the amp looks like. We've got the big control head and amplifier unit. This is solid state. There aren't any valves in it. So you don't have to worry about getting electrocuted. All you have to do is make sure you don't plug it in. The first step is to undo this screw, and then we're going to have 4 more screws to this side, to that side. And then we're going to unplug the speakers. You just pull those off nice and carefully. Remember that red goes at the top, and then this whole thing should be able to slide out. So I'm going to start with the screws on the top, and then I'm going to tip the amp on its front so we don't damage the speaker or the controller. Obviously put the, well, they're bolts, not screws. Well, they're screws technically. They're set screws with a chamfered top. Oh wow, lovely. I'm going to put them on my other amp because that's what the other amp is for. We can use the other amp to keep all of our bits. Hopefully the other amp doesn't get jealous. Ta-da! Oh, these collars come off as well. Right, keep these nice and safe. They're the nice collars. We're going to tip it to its face. Let's just unplug the speakers now. If they come off, they should just wiggle off. That's a strong crimp. Oh, the black one's off. The red one is a little bit tight on this one. Wiggle, wiggle. Ugh. Because I don't want to break this, let me just turn off the camera and use 2 hands. And we're off. That, my friends, was a tight crimp on this one. On the videos I've seen, they just come straight off. This one's quite tight. Luckily, I don't know if this is a design change, but they've made the lugs different sizes. So the red one only goes on this one, and the black one only goes on this one. That's good. Right, anyway. Now we can proceed to getting the head off. So like I said, there are 4 more screws. One in this corner. Ugh. Oh, wow. Right. I'm going to remove these in my own time. and then we'll lift the head out. We're off. What did you learn about YouTube? If somebody cuts away in the edit, it's because it was really tough. So, yeah, that's screwed right into the wood. For my measly little weak hands and screwdriver, I'm quite tired. This should be able to lift off now, the head. Let's try. Oh yes, success, success. Oh, we've got it. Right, keep this nice and safe. So, ooh, electronics. So we're gonna put this down to the side. Nice and safe, out the way. I like looking at things like this. It's nice and cool. Look at all that. Anyway, I like such things. Let's not break the... Let's lay it upwards so we don't trap the wires. There we go. Right. Now we're left with getting the speaker out. The speaker should be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 screws, and then the front plate actually comes off. In fact, I don't think we need the speaker out. I think we can just pull the front plate off with these. Let me try that. Yeah, why not? All the videos I've seen, they pull the speaker out, but I don't see why you'd need the speaker out. Oh, is it because the speaker goes into the front frame? Let's see how deep this screw goes for the speaker. Oh, that didn't go very well, did it? What was that flew off? See if I can catch that in slow-mo later. I think it was a bit of compressed wood. Oh no, that's pretty. Yeah, I'm guessing we have to pull the speaker out to pull the front bracket off. Yes, okay. That was pretty easy though. Ugh. I think it was just the paint. I can see it here, look. Whatever this thing is spinning. It's the paint afterwards. Right, anyway. Like I said, we'll put the screws on the other amp. Don't get jealous, other amp. There's another one here. Oh, I know what it is. They put a little daub of paint on there, so if you remove the speaker, you void the warranty. Well, I've had this amp for a year now, so I think I'm happy to proceed. Yeah. Look at that, look. They put that on the heads of the bolts. Screws, whatever you want to call them. Technically a set screw in it. That's another one. Then we have the final one in this corner. As you can see, if you want to change the speaker on these, which some people do, they change speakers on their amps and cabs. It's not a relatively difficult job to do. Get some of that stuff out of there. So this is basically how you would change the speaker. You undo the cables, take out the head. Well, you don't have to, you do have to take out the head. There's not enough room to get to these bolts, to get these bolts out. And then this speaker should lift out. Try and be careful. Right, I'm going to use 2 hands for this. I don't want to break the speaker cone, obviously, so let me sit you down there. There we go. There's a nice, lovely Katana speaker. I actually like the sound of this, so I'm not going to change it. Just got to remember when it goes in, that goes to the right, And the katana writing is correct that way. Right, we're going to put this over here, well out the way, cone facing down, so there's no chance of me hurting it. Right, let's see how much you can see now. We've got 1, 2, 3 screws to hold the katana sign and the boss sign, and we've got 2 nuts here. Where is it? There. Holds the front fascia plate on, and then I believe we also need to get these 4 off, so we'll do that now actually while we're in position. One. 2. 3. 4, that's those parts. Put those over there. Everything has a place. Then we should turn it round. We can take out the badges first. And then somehow fit a socket in there. So there's the Katana badge off, the Mark II. You know it's a Mark II because it's got the 2 like Citron army looking things there. I don't know what rank that is. Someone on the internet will know. To me it just looks like a Citron with one of the bits of the badges being stolen. Oh, it's alright. These aren't on tight at all, these are nice and loose. And there's your boss symbol. We'll put these back in. I'm not going to put these back on, so I'll keep these in a box. So if I do transform the amp back to the way it was, I can put these back on. The whole point for me of changing the grill cloth is to make your boss katana look stealthy. So I don't think having a boss or a katana badge on it kind of defeats the purpose. Right. I hope I've got small enough sockets for these, or do I use the adjustable? Let's see. I didn't measure. What's the smallest one I've got? Nope. What was that? Oh, that was a 10. Oh, it's smaller than a 10. Oh, let's see if I can get it off with this. See, what you should do is get the correct socket. So, just ignore me doing this bit. This is the, I can't be bothered to go get the correct size. It's nothing complicated. It's not like I'm rebuilding a car. Right, that also has a collar. So there's that one. And then we've got the top one. Oh, I can just hear the comment section going crazy. Why are you using an adjustable wrench? I thought I had the right sockets. I didn't know these were smaller. To be fair. This one's on quite tight. There we go. You only have to crack them off and then you can... They're only finger tight. Another one. And now, here comes the final part. This just lifts off. There we go. Put you there. And that is the front fascia. And there's all the magical staples. Oh, which I don't want to deal with. This is why I'm just going to put the cloth over the top. We do have some nice vanity pieces here though. They appear to be attached. But how are they attached? Are they glued on? Can I take them off? I might just leave them. Well, they look nice. No, I don't want to break it. Right. Next time you're going to see me now, I'm going to go over to a table and we're going to lay the cloth out and we're going to hopefully thumbtack it onto this. As you can see, this is just a wooden chassis, so I'm hoping I can attach some thumbtacks around here and then it should just be nice and hidden inside the front of the amp. I don't know if you can see here, look, it's the same thing around the front. So all the cloth should be hidden by this piece of wood. Oh no, you could have kept the speaker in. There we go. These are to hold the speaker in. So I could have left the speaker in the cabinet, but anyway, what I might do is give this a little brush down because it's a bit dusty. Then we'll have a nice spiffing clean amp. Anyway, I'll see you at the table with the cloth. Now, obviously you need a nice clean surface to put this on. So what you're going to do first is put your cloth down, which is what I'm going to do, facing downwards, like that. And then what we're going to do first is we're going to put the grill cloth on, and we're going to mark out, hopefully, if I just move the camera a little bit more. It's not right, but it's the best I can do. Right, we put that on there. And we want to mark out, because this is a big piece of cloth, we need to make it smaller. But we need to mark out probably, I don't know how much that would be, because it needs to be hidden by here. The thinnest point is this. 2 fingers. I'm going to use the international measurement of 2 fingers. So, what's that, 30 mil? Something like that. So I'm going to get a marker pen and I'm going to mark out about 30 mil. 30 to 50 mil I think is recommended. And then we can then cut this out, and then before I attach it I can iron the piece. Okay, so there's no creases in the fabric. And then we would put it on and we'd pull it as tight as we could, and then we'd attach it, okay, all the way around. So let me mark it and then I'll go and cut this out. So here's my ironed cloth cut to shape. I tried my best to iron it, you know, there were some stubborn creases, so yes, the best I could do. We're going to put the fascia down on here in the middle, and the easiest, we've got these to contend with in a minute, so easiest if we do these 2 sides I guess first, and folding the corners is also going to be another issue. But what I'm going to do is try and pull this as tight, well, put these in and pull the cloth as tight as possible. I've got my thumbtacks. I've also got my kid's hammer just in case I need to hammer the thumbtacks in. Oh, it's only 30. I think I miscalculated the box. Anyway, just a couple each side. Let's do the first one. Let's get this out of the way. Oh, it's not going in. Oh, is the wood too tough? No, plans are thwarted. I've bent the thumbtack. Really? Oh, really? Oh, no. I'm going to use the hammer. Let me use the hammer of death. Come on, joke hammer. Nope, that's not worked. Let's use another thumbtack. This wood's so tough. What am I going to do? Might have to nail it in then. Oh, Is that in? That's what she said. Right. We've got one in. They're not very good thumbtacks, these, I'll be honest. Oh no, it's straight out. Oh my god, they are trash. Ugh. That's 2 out of 30 gone. What am I going to do? Right, let's have a think. What can we use? I don't have any small nails. I was kind of hoping these would do the job. What did you learn? Don't buy cheap plastic ones. But they're literally, it's their job. It's their job. Oh. Right, we have to have a rethink. So we've had a bit of a major rethink. And what we're going to do, and what I've already done now, is we're using something in the guitar world that's called tone glue. Okay? So this tone glue sticks the cloth on just enough to transfer tone from the wood and the speaker from the guitar. Okay? This is brilliant. So using a tone glue gun, specially designed, what you can do is you can apply some glue directly to the wood, push down your fabric nice and tight, and you still retain all of the nuances from your playing, because we all know that tone comes from the fingers. Anyway, that's what mine has ended up looking like, which I think we can agree looks pretty good. I made little slots in the fabric just so these bolts come through. Now, I'm not worried about the glue because I didn't want this to be destructive. So on a serious note, if it's strong enough to hold it in place, but if I really wanted to pull it off, I could just rip it off, okay? And I'm back to where I started, so that's accomplished. These thumbtacks are terrible. These aren't good ones. It's got like it's just monkey metal that breaks. So this wood is quite tough. So top tip, if you're gonna do this, I can see why they use staples at Boss. So probably you should do the same. But for me, I've just used craft glue because I just want to hold it. To be fair, when this attaches to the front plate, you've got these two bolts holding it in and the 4 screws in the corners, and it should sandwich it together. So I don't think this cloth is going to go anywhere. So for me, this is fine. You can laugh at me in the comment section as much as you want. Now we're done with this. We're going to take it back to the chassis and we're going to reattach the amp back together after a little bit of a spring clean with a brush on the inside. So, bodge job! See you back at the fascia. So we're back at the chassis. We've got our little fascia. There it is. It's going to look great on there. So for the 4 screws, I'm just going to sandwich it in first with the 4 screws that go in the corner. All I've done is I've took a Swiss Army knife and it's got this little sharp tool for threading in it. Those of you that wondered what this was before your entire lives, it's for making holes in Boss Katana fascias. That's what it's for. So I've just found the 4 corners and I've put holes in there just so when it goes back in, the screws have a little hole to line up and go in. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to try and tuck this in nice and neat. Get all the corners in. There we go. Look at that. Then all we have to do is grab the 4 corner screws. I'm going to keep the washers on. And we get a screwdriver. And hopefully, he says, if I can find where those 4 corners were, because the issue is with screws is they'll pull on the fabric when they tighten up. So you just got to be careful, keep an eye on it. That's why I made little holes. Pull the fabric nice and tight, the screws in. Try and get your fingers and pull the fabric tight around it, because if it catches on the screw, it'll just spin and it'll rip everything out. So there we go. Yep, start to move. That'll do for now. Then I like to do the opposite corners. So we're going to get down here. There's the other one. There, it's found it. Keep the fabric nice and tight so it doesn't get caught on the screw, on the thread. There we go, it's caught. As in the thread has got in the wood. Keep it nice and tight. We're in. Yeah! Right. This corner. Where's the hole? There it is. Once you've got two corners in, this should be nice and easy now, because it's held in place. Put that there. One more in this corner. Where's the hole? There. I said hold that fabric nice and tight so it doesn't get caught in the thread. Oh, this one's not even. There we go. Now we're in. On today's episode, watching a man screw a screw in. There we go. I tried to get it so I had the elephants going down the middle, like that, and like this. So I know when I get that speaker, it should line up somewhere here. No, I'm kidding. This was a pure fluke. I didn't guess all that happening. But it turned out well in the end though, didn't it? Yeah, nearly fooled you there. Right then. What's next? I believe it's speaker back in next. After a little clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down, the amp down, and we're going to put the speaker in. Oh, and the other bolts that hold it in, actually, to be honest. So here's the inside after I've flipped it over. You can see a little bit of the cloth, but that's fine, because that's going to add to the tone, because this is tone cloth. So, great. All I've got to do is put the two nuts back on here, tighten them up, and then we're ready to put the speaker back in. So I'm going to do that with two hands. So I'm going to put the camera down and do it with two hands because the speaker is very, very important. I don't want to drop that or break it. So when you see me, I'll have these two nuts in and a speaker in. It's not difficult. We've got it. We've got it all on. Speaker's in. Now all we've got to do is to put the amp back in. So reverse of before. We'll do the two screws on the top to hold it in place, and then we will put the 4 screws that go here, reconnect, and job's a good un, as we say up north. And then I can give that a bit of a dust. I didn't do the amp bit, I'll do that in a bit. Right, this should slot on in there. Make sure the cables don't get caught. In, yash. Right. Oh, I see. Risk of electric shock. Good. I like a bit of danger. Right, let's do the top ones. Pull them in. Lift that up a little bit so they line up. On this side. Hopefully you can see. On the other side. Screwdriver went somewhere, don't know where. Oh, here. Solid state. Thank God it's solid state. Right then, that's a whole different other topic. And the other screws are down here. So we now should be able to put these ones in. They go straight into the wood. So they were a bit difficult before. They required a bit of brute force. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You don't want to be bored seeing me put screws in. I'm going to reconnect the speaker. I'm going to put the screws in. And then we're going to do some sound tests again, okay? So let me just put the speaker parts on. It will be positive to positive. Negative to negative. Voila, we're on. Easy. Right, I'm going to put these back on and then we're going to do some sound tests, okay? My Strat in the neck, middle and bridge positions like before. Some simple stuff. We've got the microphone aimed straight down the middle, exactly the same height it was before. It turns out the middle is just above where this elephant is, so down the middle like that. Told you I didn't plan that. That was quite lucky. And you can just get this piece of paper between it. So exactly the same. Let's do some sound examples. I just hope I can play like before. Anyway, see if I can remember. I think it was just in A. So here we go. Start with the neck pickup. So, interesting is a word we use in English when we kind of don't know what we're talking about. I've just listened back, and to me, and the feeling when I played it in the room, and it could just be me, is yes, some of the high ends were gone from the sound after not touching it. To be fair, moving the microphone slightly a little bit, maybe, I don't know. Don't know if it's exactly where it was before. I've tried to keep it exactly as it was before in the middle. The settings, you've seen I haven't touched them. Maybe I'm playing the guitar a bit harder, I don't know. I've tried to keep all the settings flat out on the guitar. To me, my ears in the room and then listening to the headphones, it seemed to me like adding the cloth, it took off some of the high end, okay? Which is to be expected, to be honest. And not an issue because I've got plenty of treble to play with, but it's just interesting. Like I said, interesting how you do something like that, change the cloth, and to me it slightly changed the sound of the amp. Is that a problem? No. In fact, I like the sound of it now. Me, naturally, with my guitar single coil pickups, my hands maple fretboards, my sound is very bright anyway. I'm always, on my sound, turning the treble nearly off or to about 9 o'clock. So if I lose treble with the cloth, it actually sounds nice to me. And like I said, I can always turn it up. But overall, I mean, does it change the sound? Is there such thing as tone cloth? I'll let you be the judge. But from what I've just done and seen and heard, I wouldn't go as far as to say cloth enhances your tone, but it does make the amp look pretty cool. So I'm very happy with the result of this. When I next play live and I do my music live, I'm going to be very proud to have this amp up there. And then the next time people say to me, wow, that sounded great, what amp are you using? I can say it's a mystery. No idea what it is. Because for the last couple of times when I tell them it's a Boss Katana and it's solid state, they go, ugh. But if they don't know, I mean, they said it sounded good. And I'm also running it with my 50 watt Marshall Origin 50, which is a valve amp. 1 gig I ran them both together in stereo. Sounded heavenly. Absolutely heavenly. I'm a fan of this hybrid solid state and valve setup. I like that. But this little Katana is amazing. Anyway, that's the end of this video. What I'll probably do, because I want to play this thing more, is I'll probably attach a distortion pedal, or I might use what's on the amp, and I'll play one of my songs at the end. Yay! Shameless plug. Right, anyway, that's the end. I hope this was useful. You can at least skip through the timestamps to, you know, to just look at how to attach it and do it. You don't have to listen to all my waffle, but thanks for watching. If you can, subscribe, like, listen to my music, all the other stuff people ask for, and enjoy the rest of your day. So, ciao ciao.